So the third and final race of the Dunlop SPORTMAXX Production Cup about to get underway. The top four have been reversed in this one, so it's Alex Ashby and Jordan Tresson on the front row of the grid, Luca Lorenzini and Adrian Churchill on row two. And as they all line up and the red lights are about to come on, we're about to get the final Dunlop SPORTMAXX Production Cup race underway. A great start from the pole position of Alex Ashby. That is matched and, if anything, bettered by Jordan Tresson from the outside of the front row of the grid. Adrian Churchill is almost going to make it three wide as they go round through turn one for the first time. We're on board with Ryan Bensley once more. Looks as though he's managed to slide his way through into fourth position, and he's trying to get up the inside of Jordan Tresson in the Nissan, but Alex Ashby it is that leads as they turn onto the infield for the first time, with Adrian Churchill there in second position. The first of the Nissans is there in third place, and it looks as though it's Luca Lorenzini up the inside. Alex Ashby just about hangs on to the lead of the race. Adrian Churchill is going to try and fight back on the exit of Yentwood, and as they head through Chapman Curve, it looks as though Adrian Churchill has fought through and grasped the lead of the race from Alex Ashby in second position. Luca Lorenzini is there in third place. There is Jordan Tresson. He's down in what will be fifth place at the moment within his wheel tracks. The man we're looking at now directly ahead of us, that being Dan Malone, because we ride on board with Craig Currie. The ex-motorcycle racer turns round through Graceland's corner. The 3.6-litre six-cylinder Nissan engine, sounding absolutely glorious, produces over 300 brake horsepower even in standard trim. Out of Tarzan they head, down the straight once more with Alex Ashby in the black Vauxhall Astra VXR, coming under pressure from the Italian. Luca Lorenzini, up the inside he goes, very good on the brakes. The heavier car makes it through, gains the position. Luca Lorenzini in the PlayStation GT Academy car, now through into second place. He's in the GT Academy this year. He was runner-up in 2008. Since then, Lorenzini has worked hard, trained hard, lost weight, and is now even more focused on his racing. Ryan Bensley is there in fourth place. We're looking directly ahead at the Astra VXR in the hands of Alex Ashby. Onto the brakes and into the braking area for Dean once more. We can see the brake lights flicking away on Alex Ashby's car. We've always seen that in the Dunlop SPORTMAXX Production Cup. Through the right-hander at Yentwood, up the slight crest once more. If these two continue to battle, it will allow Luca Lorenzini to begin to close on the race leader. Not quite 3 as 1, but not that far away. We're almost 4 as 1, because joining in on the back is the yellow Nissan 370Z in the hands of Jordan Tresson, the Frenchman. Down the steel straight once more. Here is the lead battle in Class B. Jordan Witt leads Class B at the moment. Andre McGee is there ahead of Keith Isett. They're all having a good squabble further down through the field as the overall race leaders and pack thereafter come through Tarzan. Well, Jordan Tresson now under pressure from Dan Malone. Dan Malone gets very close to him indeed, almost touching they were as they came out of Dean Corner. Dan Malone smokes the wheels as he tries to get the power down as quickly as possible. Up the inside he goes, gains a position. So Dan Malone now up inside the top 4. Jordan Tresson down into 5th place. Craig Currie, the second of the two yellow Nissans, resides at the bottom of the top 6 currently. Dan Malone all of a sudden finding some good power in the EJM prepared Seat Leon Cupra, car that took Simon Shaw to the championship last year. Through Gracelands once more, Craig Currie, we ride on board with, former motorcycle racer with the French student directly ahead of us. Jordan Tresson doing his master's degree at university currently. And here is the lead battle for Class B, with Jordan Witt under a whole host of pressure. The BMW still leads the class, the diesel engine car, with the Mini in the hands of Andre McGee, absolutely in his wheel tracks. Down the school straight once more they'll go, as Ryan Bensley feeds his way back out onto the bank section of the oval. He's currently in 5th place. He's got Alex Ashby directly ahead of him, and if he can close as much as possible down the straight in the slipstream, he might just have an opportunity to take the place away when they break for the left-hander and head back onto the infield section. There goes the Class B squabble once more, with this time Andre McGee really closing in on Jordan Witt. He jinks to the left-hand side of the circuit, gives him the inside line at turn 1. He's just about made it through. They're going to run side by side through turn 1. The Mini is on the left-hand side of the circuit. That should give him the inside line when they get to the braking area for Dean Corner, and I'm sure he must have made it through. Well, Dan Malone under pressure once more from Jordan Tresson. The Nissan trying to fight his way back up through the order. Very sideways indeed, even more sideways, and eventually a spin for Jordan Witt. Former class leader in Class B is going to tumble well and down through the order. That will give, as we saw a few moments ago, Andre McGee the leader of the class, but Keith Isett should be through into second. Well, there is Jordan Tresson, number 22, the yellow Nissan, ahead of Dan Malone. Dan Malone equally as much has another one of the yellow Nissans. That's Craig Currie behind him. And here is the squabble of the two Astras still. Alex Ashby still palming off the attentions of Ryan Bensley as they head back out of Tarzan once more. The fight for what is third and fourth position currently. They head into the braking area for a Brook corner that brings them back upon then to turn 4 in the banked oval. And Ryan Bensley is trying as hard as he can to stay on terms with Alex Ashby. He's got to try even harder if he wants to try and feed his way through. Over the start-finish line once more they come. Black Astra VXR still ahead of the blue machine through turn 1. Don't forget that the red Astra VXR in the hands of Adrian Churchill still leads. And as they once more head into the braking area for Dean Corner, Alex Ashby tried to stay in neat and as tidily as possible. Ryan Bensley getting ever closer to him. Alex Ashby's feeling the pressure as they head down the short straight and up towards the right-hander at Yentwood. You can see how much those two are holding each other up because we've got Jordan Tresson closing in them. Here is our race leader. Adrian Churchill has done a lot of the running out front on his own this weekend. There's Andre McGee, once more leading Class B, albeit he's got Keith Isett in that blue BMW 120 diesel, not that far away. The battle of the Astras continues with Jordan Tresson in the yellow Nissan getting ever closer through Graceland's corner once more. Down the short little dip they head and then into the braking area for the right-hand hairpin at Tarzan. You can see that the two Astras have held each other up so much now that Jordan Tresson has not just closed in on them, but before too much longer stands half a chance of trying to feed his way through and past. We're on board with Craig Currie, looking at the squabbling trio ahead. And as they head in towards Brook Corner, Jordan Tresson, who's been mightily impressive so far this weekend, has still got plenty of work to do if he wants to get himself up through the order. He's currently there in 5th position. We know how quick this Nissan is in a straight line now, but unfortunately what it's got in a straight line it hasn't quite got on the brakes. Round through turn 1 once more. I think the order should remain the same this time through. I don't think Ryan Bensley is quite close enough to Alex Ashby as they approach the braking area for Dean Corner. Jordan Tresson sitting there in 5th place up the inside of Ryan Bensley. Ryan Bensley caught napping. He seemed to be a long, long way back, and all of a sudden he's managed to fight his way through and up into 4th place at the expense of Bensley, who we ride on board with now, who's dropped to 5th. Out of Yentwood and up the hill towards Chapman Curve, with still Andre McGee, the Russian driver from Syktyvka, leading the class. The class is split by power to weight ratio, and therefore it's the more powerful car in the hands of Adrian Churchill, with somewhere between 160 and 210 brake horsepower per tonne that leads the way. There's the Class B Vauxhall Corsa of Kevin George, who retired from the first race of the weekend. He's son of British touring car racer John George, and is having a better turn of fortune in this particular race as he makes his way down in towards Yentwood Corner. Well, now the battle is really on. Jordan Tresson is right on terms with Alex Ashby. He wants to attack. He's got to defend, however, because Ryan Bensley isn't that far away, and the second of the two yellow Nissans in the hands of Craig Currie has also made very good ground. You can see how much the squabbling has held everybody up. So therefore the quartet head out of Brook and turn 4 over the start-finish line. Another lap about to be completed as our race leader presses on and very calmly indeed feeds his way through once more onto the infield section of the circuit. We go back on board with Craig Currie once more, the 3.6 litre 6-cylinder Nissan, with the 4-cylinder Astra VXR of Ryan Bensley directly ahead of him. Jordan Tresson is also very close as well to the black Astra VXR in the hands of Alex Ashby. Up towards Yentwood those two come. Alex Ashby has had a very, very busy race. Earlier on, fighting off the attentions of Ryan BENSLEY, now fighting off the attentions of the Frenchman. Through Chapman Curve, and Jordan Tresson is trying to squeeze his way through and past him at all he can. He's up the inside as they come round through Piff Paff Corner. Ryan BENSLEY follows him through as well, and all of a sudden Alex Ashby has lost a couple of places. Through has gone the Nissan, through has gone the Astra, and poor old Ryan BENSLEY, from being in third, now finds himself down in fifth position, if he's not careful, falling into the clutches of this car that we're on board with, Craig Currie. Alex Ashby rides the curbs, trying to fight back though. Up towards Tarzan they come. Ryan BENSLEY goes a little bit defensive on the way in. Therefore, it will probably mean a slightly wider line on the way out. We ride on board once more with Ryan BENSLEY, looking back at how Jordan Tresson made the pass. Up the inside he goes. Ryan BENSLEY follows him neat and tidily through. And therefore, poor old Alex Ashby losing 2 places in the space of 1 corner. Well, here is the car of Luca Lorenzini, the Italian racer. Heads out of Tarzan Corner. You can see the gap once more between himself and Adrian Churchill start to come down. We saw this in the race earlier on today. Perhaps just Churchill easing off towards the end once more, because we've not got that many more laps to go. However, one car that can't ease off is poor old Alex Ashby. Look at the pressure he's under. He's already lost a couple of places. He won't want to lose a further place to Craig Currie and drop down to what for him would be the very bottom of the top 6 if that happened. In towards Brook Corner once more. Alex Ashby trying to keep things neat and tidy at the wheel of the number 21 Astra VXR. Of course, that's the turbocharged car. Normally aspirated Nissan behind him. As here comes our race leader once more. We're on the final lap now, and Luca Lorenzini is again reeling in the Courtney Sport prepared Astra VXR in the hands of Adrian Churchill. He claimed 2 wins throughout 2009, the first of which came here at Rockingham, the very start of the season, the second of which came at the very final round. Locked brakes by the look of things for Craig Currie. He's going to briefly disappear off the circuit and onto the grass. So just as he was starting to apply the pressure to Alex Ashby, it looks as though they've sorted themselves out therefore, and Alex Ashby now can breathe a sigh of relief in 5th position. As they approach the final few corners, here they come through Brook up towards turn 4. Adrian Churchill has made it through and past the back marker traffic of Kevin George, and that, I think, has given him just about enough breathing space as he accelerates towards the start-finish line. It's going to be a clean sweep in 2010 so far in the Dunlop SPORTMAXX Cup for Adrian Churchill. He will come through and take the race victory. Looks as though it's been a good drive also for Jordan Tresson. He will come through in what should be 3rd position for him. A very, very hard-fought 3rd pace for Jordan Tresson. He comes through and over the start-finish line. His teammate Luca Lorenzini finishing ahead of him. We ride on broad once more with Craig Currie as he goes over the start-finish line in 6th. So Adrian Churchill takes the honours. Luca Lorenzini finishes in 2nd place, and Jordan Tresson completes the top 3. Our class-winning drivers, Andre McGee and Adrian Churchill, are on the podium.
Adrian, 3 out of 3 is a perfect way to start your championship campaign.
Yeah, very, very pleased, and you know, all thanks to Courtney Sport and Tim as well, who's come along and helping us this year. Dan and everybody. We've, perfect start, as you say, maximum points.
That last race, first part of the race, it looked very, very fast. Second part of the race, you were being caught by the Nissan. Was that a case of you wore the tyres out, or were you just pacing yourself?
No, it's down to tyres. The Astras are hard on tyres, and the Nissan seem to deal with them, very well. And I sort of learned, quickly this weekend that the Nissan gets stronger later on. So we started off with new tyres and went as quickly as we could to start with, and tried to get a bit of a gap, and managed to stay there. But the tyres were going for sure.
Are you slightly concerned over the later part of the season, once these Nissans get themselves sorted in terms of setup and driver ability, that they could be a real threat to you?
Well, I don't know. It's early days at the moment. Rockingham is a very fast circuit. What they're going to be like on the shorter, twisty ones, I just don't know. They might be good. We'll have to deal with that and see.
All right. Well, for the moment anyway, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, after our SPORTMAXX Production Cup races this weekend, Class A is being led by Adrian Churchill from Luca Lorenzini, and in Class B, it's Andre McGee that leads the pack.